probably consider it a textured radio if you wanted to.
Look at that. That is ugly.
That's a radio.
There it is.
You take that to your duck line.
Well, now here's the next part, the next chapter. Who wants it for free? I mean, I'll give it to anybody that wants it. They'll do something with it.
What make is it?
You want it? Sure. Get it out of here.
What make it? What make is it?
Philcup.
But I think that most of you know what this is. I know Tom knows it.
Minerva Tropic Master?
Yep. Right, yeah. Remember the auction down in Coopersburg, that snowy day 3 years ago?
Yep.
Yeah, you were there. Well, I bought this for 20, 25 bucks, whatever. I look, every time I look at the Trop Master, I do not see it in this color. And so I just wanted to put this out to you guys. How did this become khaki green? Because it pretty much looks like where it's rusted or rubbed off, it was never the characteristic gray. Because, the radio looks like a regular Trop Master when you open it up. It's a gray.
No,
It looks pretty much.
Comes in gray.
By the way, Tom, I'm going to come see you so you can help me fix it.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's very strange. So, has anybody ever
Could have been
seen
just
it?
a small contract of green ones for some department.
I think one was for the Army and one's for the Navy.
It does not have the Trop Master, logo, which is the painted.
There's usually a white script on the
White
front, you're
script
right,
on
that
the
would
front.
say Minerva Tropic Master on front.
So, if you were me, would you restore this? to the
Why not?
color? Or
Sure.
would you just leave it like this?
Does it have the wax impregnated wiring underneath it?
I
Has
don't
it
know.
been tropical, what do they call it?
Oh,
Tropical wire?
I
Yeah.
have not opened this yet.
I had one like that.
From what Tom told us, they changed the wiring diagram a few times through the run of this. I guess it was made in 1943, 44, 45. Not sure if this is going to increase people's morale, really.
Yeah, the morale.
But, so maybe I'll just leave it ugly like this. Fix the
Leave it patinaed.
electronics and see what happens. You like yours, Tom, right?
work pretty good for you.
Yeah, they're supposed to have an RF stage. I guess it's an extra, the RF amplifier.
Actually, they're a pretty good working little radio.
Yeah.
Now, start with the back of the radio. As you can see, they may have put this in the dryer and left it in there too long because the way the antenna kind of shrunk here a little bit. It's AA5, and this is one of the ugliest radios I've ever seen in my life. Now, here's the dial. I don't know how well you can see it in there, but it's cracked in half, and they made a nice repair with Scotch tape that's probably 40 years old. There you go. Did you get that?
Vintage shape.
Oh, it's beautiful. So, yeah, well, I was thinking the smell. The smell was my fault. It wasn't, anything in the radio. So I figured I didn't know what was going on. First, you can see where someone probably dropped it or where it was cracked on the back. Also notice too that the wood is very, very thin. And I'm looking at this thing, is this could be a really original wood cabinet? No, I think it's probably plywood. Because you can see, like from the side, you can see how it's got, where it's kind of missing here.
Yeah.
And I see there's 3 ladies in the room, so I don't want to lock you ladies out. But remember when they used to have the bra commercials? They used to have these bras that would lift and separate? Well, this one actually lifts and separates. Just like that, yeah, so. Anyway, I didn't know what was going to happen tonight, so like a dummy today, I pulled the chassis out, threw some caps in. It actually plays not too well. The odor, which you smell, is something I added. That is PD Blaster, which I use on my car to get out frosted bolts, because I couldn't find my WD-40. I didn't have anything. The bread slicer was horrible. So now it's actually free. Now the dial indicator, oh there it is. This fell in maybe. Oh there it is, it's laying in there. So this radio actually works, and if somebody wants this and wants to take another, would you want a second one? Anybody else like? Okay, here. And it comes in this lovely bunch of donuts back.
Wow, bag too. Nice.
Congratulations.
I'm sure it's been ugly to begin with, and it's actually not in terrible shape. But it's got the bed, sides and everything. But someone thought that this mustard yellow color was just perfect for this thing. Look at that, unbelievable.
Doesn't match the bed set.
And it's an it must be. And it is. I think the design is kind of odd too, because you always have to be leery of a radio that has a fancier back than it does. The back, I love the back on this thing, but I started to take off some of the paint and I'm seeing what a job it's going to be, but I'll get there eventually. But the back is way more interesting than the front is. The front's just your regular run-of-the-mill deal.
Is it veneered or photo finish?
What's that? It's no, it's regular solid wood, so it's not a photo finish. So it will come back at some point, and with the bent wood sides, like it'll look nice. And I've seen people with refinished ones that look great. So I have no doubt that this will get there eventually. But God, what did you do to this cabinet? Amazing. So there you have
When are
it.
you gonna pull the paint off with?
I don't know. What do you think? Any suggestions? What's a good thing to get the paint off a wood cabinet? I mean, I know I'm going to lose a grain filler regardless, so I don't know.
It's got a ballast tube inside of it. But I believe it's labeled as Climax, but it was also sold by Detrola, Cunningham, which I have a picture of a Cunningham version. They say it's worth $225. I don't think so. But I have a Cunningham version. Was also sold by Climax and Clinton. Now, I think it was built at the famous Plant A in Chicago by Clinton, and they made it for a bunch of people. But it's a 5-tube TRF 2-band radio.
That radio, he had it completely dismantled. He did a number on this. It is as clean as a whisker, except for the dust. It's been completely restored.
Is that a cat's ass or a whisker?
Ass. And I got this one last year as well at an auction. I paid a few bucks for them, but they're small and they fit.
That's DeWalt, right?
I need one knob for this radio. I've got one. And I took these knobs off my Theta Bullet because they look better on this radio. Very. I got them. I just cut the cord right off. No need for the cord.
Thank you. All right, staying on the Philco theme, anybody know what this is? Uber rare. You probably never see one or even find one. I found what's the closest thing. This is the Simplex. Philco took Simplex over in the, I guess in the late 30s. And this is a Philco Transitone Simplex.
Wow.
Plastic on or plastic. But this is this I got off eBay several years ago. Not very expensive. I think I paid like 60 bucks for it or something. Wow. Because I thought it was interesting. But it's got the Simplex dial, Transitone moniker, and Philco chassis.
Did you refinish it?
No, it came like this.
Wow, that's
And it works. And it
I
works.
think that plastic one was a really crazy blue color too.
They came in various colors.
I mean, it was
blues,
like
black and
psychedelic.
whites, orange, and blacks.
Royal blue, I think.
But this is probably the closest thing I'll ever get to finding this, obviously.
Look how narrow, it's not very deep at all.
Yeah, there's not too much information on the internet. I did see one sold several years ago on Worth Wing or something. Had something on it, but and I hardly ever see the radio. But it's probably uber rare, I would say.
And this one, this is a fairly wide band receiver. It goes from 150 kilohertz to 108 megahertz, straight through.
Wow.
And you can, it covers AM, FM, narrowband FM, single sideband, and it, again, it's a good performer. It has fine tuning, everything. It gets complicated with some of these memory channels and some of the functionality. But then, of course, there's more. And this is where it gets ugly.
It gets better.
This is where it gets ugly. You get this frequency converter that you have to screw on the top and put that on, if I can get it on. And then you put the antenna on top of that. And then the coverage goes from 115 megahertz to 273 megahertz. But to get that to happen, you got to take the battery out. You got to shift put the little shift button over, then you've got to turn it on, then you've got to program and, give a whole bunch of other stuff in to get it to shift the frequency. So that's the part that gets real ugly.
Wow.
But
Rare end up.
the only good thing is, to get it back to normal, you simply have to take this thing off, he says, and put the shift back to normal. And then it's back to normal.
Wow. How much did these things cost back in the day?
Thousands.
This had a list price of $549
Yikes.
in 1985. I bought it, I bought this new from Electronic Equipment Bank in Vienna, Virginia for like $329.
You know why it's so expensive? It's the big book that came with it, how to
Oh,
operate
hell
this
yeah.
thing.
Now this,
We just finished reading it.
I still have to read it, I still don't know how to use that shift frequency stuff. This one's a lot easier to use. Now this, I've seen advertised in different pilot sites for about $199 in the mid-80s. But they both work.
Is that Sony, Dave?
They're both Sony.